Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
Justin Bieber just dropped a bombshell, a secret list of rappers and artists who may have fallen victim to Diddy's dark side. Names like Meek Mill, DaBaby, and Usher are now in the spotlight. What really went on behind the scenes? And why is Justin speaking out now? Stay tuned. What you're about to hear will change the way you look at the music industry. For years, there have been whispers about Diddy and the power he holds in the music industry. But now, those whispers are turning into loud accusations. Justin Bieber, one of the world's biggest pop stars, has reportedly revealed a list of artists who might have suffered at the hands of Diddy, and it includes big names like Meek Mill, DaBaby, and even Usher. Why is Justin coming forward now? And what does this mean for the future of these artists? Let's dive into everything we know so far.
The confronting allegations are laid out in graphic detail in Combs' 14-page indictment. In it, he's accused of trafficking women and male sex workers to perform depraved freak-offs, drug-fueled sex parties for his own twisted enjoyment.
Right now, Diddy is facing some of the most serious accusations of his entire career. Over the past several months, a series of lawsuits have been filed against him. Lawsuits that claim years of abuse, violence, coercion, and even potential trafficking. It all started when Cassie, Diddy's former partner of almost a decade, filed a shocking lawsuit accusing him of physical abuse, rape, and human trafficking. The details of her filing were disturbing. She claimed that Diddy controlled her with threats, isolated her from friends and family, and forced her into terrifying situations involving other celebrities and powerful people in the industry. That one lawsuit opened the floodgates. Since then, at least 3 more individuals have filed suits against Diddy, 2 women and 1 man, with similar accusations. They described a pattern of manipulation, control, and in some cases, violence. These are not just gossip or blind allegations. These are official legal cases, now making their way through the courts. What makes this even more serious is the level of law enforcement now involved. In March, federal agents from Homeland Security raided 2 of Diddy's mansions, one in Miami and one in Los Angeles. Reports say they seized electronics, documents, and other evidence. Sources close to the investigation claim they are building a case around possible sex trafficking and racketeering, charges that could bring massive consequences if proven in court. And right now, Diddy is still denying all the allegations. Through his lawyers, he's calling this a money grab and insisting that all relationships were consensual.
Recording of Meek and Diddy
making love?
Ew. I don't know if it was love.
They want to make it. They want to make it so badly. You get these vulnerable people. Parents are letting you do this because they want to make it so badly. And then you record them probably and say, if you do anything, we got this on.
But with multiple lawsuits and a full federal investigation happening at the same time, things are heating up fast, and it's clear this story is far from over. While all of this was unfolding, Justin Bieber shocked fans and the entire music industry when he decided to speak out. According to several insiders close to Bieber, he's been holding back information for years, and now, with multiple lawsuits and federal investigations surrounding Diddy, he felt it was finally time to reveal what he knows. Sources say Justin has privately shared a list of artists he believes may have also been victimized or manipulated by Diddy over the years. On that list, big names: Meek Mill, DaBaby, and Usher.
Went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
These are artists who, at different times, have either worked with Diddy or been seen at his infamous parties, the same parties now being investigated for possible illegal activity. What's really shocking is that Justin isn't just guessing. He claims to have witnessed certain situations personally. During his younger years, when he was first coming up in the industry, Justin says he was invited to events hosted by Diddy and saw firsthand how younger artists were being pressured, manipulated, or trapped in unhealthy situations. For a long time, Justin kept quiet. Insiders say he was afraid of the consequences. Diddy is a powerful figure in the music world, and going against him could mean losing connections, deals, or worse. But with the recent lawsuits and growing public attention, Justin reportedly felt now was the moment to finally speak up and support others who might not feel safe coming forward yet. Who's on the list and why? So, who exactly is on the list that Justin reportedly revealed? So far, 3 big names have come out: Meek Mill, Babby, and Usher. Each of them has a unique history with Diddy, and there are clues that they may have been targeted or harmed in some way. Let's break it down. First up, Meek Mill. Meek Mill's relationship with Diddy has always been close, at least on the surface. Over the years, Meek was often seen at Diddy's private parties, yacht gatherings, and mansion events. Diddy called Meek family and positioned himself as a mentor figure. During Meek's early career struggles, including his legal battles and incarceration, Diddy appeared publicly in support, even offering to help manage Meek's business affairs. But behind the scenes, insiders now claim the relationship wasn't just about friendship, it may have also involved control and manipulation.
It's an incredibly scary thought. I mean, there's countless victims who we likely won't know the identities of, but my hope is that they get some sense of justice from this. Charges against them yet, and I think that that is for a reason, because they are cutting deals with them to testify against Diddy.
Sources close to both camps allege that Meek was pressured into attending certain events, including after-parties with select industry elites, many of which are now under federal scrutiny. The fact that Meek has consistently been photographed at some of the very same Diddy events now linked to trafficking allegations is raising red flags. Even more telling is Meek's own behavior in recent years. On social media, he's posted a series of cryptic tweets hinting at betrayal from industry figures. In one tweet, he wrote, "They tried to break me. I know too much." In another, OGs ain't always who they claim to be. On tracks like Cold Hearted 2 and Trauma, Meek raps about being used, watched, and manipulated by those in power. Lyrics fans now believe may point to his experiences with Diddy's inner circle. Justin Bieber allegedly included Meek on the list after witnessing moments at these parties where Meek seemed visibly uncomfortable and trapped, unable to leave certain situations. Some insiders say Justin saw firsthand how Meek was drawn into an environment of heavy drugs, exploitation, and coercion, all under the guise of industry networking. Next is DaBaby. DaBaby's relationship with Diddy developed fast as DaBaby rose to fame. The two were regularly seen together at major events, including club appearances in Miami and Los Angeles, as well as exclusive after-dark parties hosted by Diddy, the same gatherings that are now under investigation.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. You know what I mean? Diddy had put everybody else out the crib, like the influx of people, he had put them out. But he had took a liking to me in particular around the time, man. It was really, you know what I mean, like putting his arm around me.
Right.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to stay in there. For me and, you know, maybe about 15 others, you know.
Right.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, you know, 2 of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put it into perspective of the type of company I was in at the moment, you know.
There are photos of Diddy and DaBaby celebrating in private settings, sometimes surrounded by groups of much older industry veterans and barely legal young women. Diddy often praised DaBaby publicly, calling him one of the rawest young talents in the game. But those close to DaBaby say he became tangled in Diddy's world, pressured into attending events where things quickly spiraled out of control. Since that time, DaBaby's life and career have unraveled in suspicious ways. In the past couple of years, he's faced multiple legal problems, canceled tour dates and public breakdowns, behavior fans and insiders now believe could be connected to what he was exposed to during this period. In interviews, DaBaby has made veiled comments about watching his back and being set up by people in the industry. On songs like Red Light, Green Light, and Lonely, he references paranoia and struggling with unseen enemies. People close to Justin say that he saw how Diddy would use younger artists' ambitions, offering them access, fame, and protection, only to trap them in compromising situations later used to control them. Justin reportedly witnessed DaBaby at more than one Diddy event where things turned dangerous, leading him to add DaBaby to the list of potential victims. And finally, Usher. Usher's story is possibly the most heartbreaking and one of the earliest in this alleged pattern.
How you been, man? I've been seeing you so long.
How much did we drink? Boy had it sweating like Uncle Leroy at the dinner table.
It's hot as hell.
It ain't that hot.
At just 14 years old, Usher was brought into Diddy's world. His mother sent him to live with Diddy in New York to gain industry experience. At the time, Diddy was one of the most powerful producers in the game, and Usher's career was still unformed. In old interviews, Diddy actually bragged about taking the teenage Usher to wild parties, exposing him to adult situations no minor should have been near. On BET's Making the Band and other TV spots, Diddy joked about how they would party all night. But in today's context, those remarks sound disturbing. Over the years, Usher has hinted at unresolved trauma from his early days. In interviews, he's talked about hard lessons and losing his innocence at a young age. On deeply personal tracks like Confessions, Can You Handle It, and That's What It's Made For, Usher sings about regret, guilt, and emotional scars. Lyrics fans now interpret as connected to his early experiences with Diddy. Behind the scenes, Usher reportedly distanced himself from Diddy in later years, choosing to rarely associate with him publicly. Insiders say Usher has carried a lot of private pain from those years and was deeply affected when the new lawsuits broke out. Justin, who looks up to Usher as a mentor and big brother, reportedly added Usher to the list out of concern, as Usher and Justin are close, but Usher is also heavily criticized for leaving young Justin in the mercy of someone like Diddy, knowing what he was capable of. He added Usher out of concern, both for what he knew about Usher's early time with Diddy and for what Justin himself witnessed at certain events where Usher seemed uneasy or withdrawn. The fact that Usher was so young when first pulled into Diddy's orbit suggests that this alleged pattern of grooming and manipulation could go back decades, long before today's headline.
FBI discovers 2,000 bottles of baby oil in Diddy's mansion. Diddy's mansion, already famous for its lavish events, is now at the center of a much bigger mystery. Why would he have so many bottles of baby oil stored away? And more importantly, what was he using all of it for?
Shockingly, there is evidence that Justin himself was a victim of this facade. Let's not forget, when Justin was just a teenager, Diddy was one of the first major stars to take him under his wing. There are old clips of Diddy inviting Justin to parties, taking him on trips, and giving him access to a world most young artists never see. At the time, it all looked like mentorship. But now, with what we know about these parties and events, it raises new concerns. Sources close to Justin say that he experienced things he wasn't comfortable with, even at a young age. In fact, some of his close friends have said privately that Justin carries a lot of trauma from that time in his life. This could also explain why Justin distanced himself from Diddy in later years, and why he's now stepping forward to warn others. While Justin hasn't officially called himself a victim, those close to him believe he was exposed to the same manipulative, toxic environment described in the lawsuits. And by speaking out now, Justin may be taking steps to process his own experiences, while helping other victims feel less alone. According to insiders, Justin Bieber didn't just create this list randomly, it comes from years of personal experience. As a teen, Justin was invited into Diddy's inner circle. He attended parties, spent time at Diddy's homes, and saw firsthand how young artists were treated. He He witnessed Meek Mill being drawn into Diddy's world, often at events where Meek seemed uncomfortable and trapped. Over the years, Justin watched as Meek posted cryptic messages and rapped about betrayal and manipulation, confirming what Justin had seen. With DaBaby, sources say Justin attended several of the same events, noticing how Diddy targeted rising stars with offers of fame and access, only to pull them into dangerous, controlling situations. DaBaby's public breakdowns and paranoia in later years made sense in light of what Justin had witnessed. Usher's story was even more personal for Justin. Usher mentored Justin as a young artist, and through their close relationship, Justin learned what Usher had gone through as a 14-year-old under Diddy's influence, combined with what Justin later witnessed at adult parties involving both himself and Usher. It became clear that the pattern of grooming and abuse stretched back decades, which is why Justin decided to speak up. Now, here's something to think about. By speaking up, Justin Bieber is taking a major risk. Diddy is still a powerful figure, with strong connections across the music world. Going public, even indirectly through sources, puts Justin in the spotlight. Industry insiders say this could lead to backlash, pressure from labels, or even threats from people loyal to Diddy. But according to those close to Justin, he's done staying silent. He's reportedly been deeply affected by the lawsuits and by memories of what he saw when he was younger. And now, with federal agents involved, he feels safer coming forward. The public reaction? Massive. Fans have been flooding social media with support for Justin, with many saying this could encourage more artists to finally tell their stories. Meanwhile, in the industry, things are more complicated. Some stars are staying quiet, either out of fear or because they've worked with Diddy in the past, but others, especially newer artists, are quietly showing support for Justin and the other victims. Sources say more names could come forward soon, as more artists begin to feel the tide shifting. One thing is clear, with the lawsuits growing, the federal investigation still active, and artists like Justin Bieber now speaking out, this could be just the beginning. The full truth about Diddy's past might finally be coming to light. Right now, the walls seem to be closing in on Diddy, with federal raids, multiple lawsuits, and now, stars like Justin Bieber finally speaking out. The list of alleged victims is growing, and the evidence is stacking up. But will more artists come forward? Will this go all the way to trial? And how much darker could this story really get? We'll be following every update. This is one story that's far from over.